Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Dr. Brooke Williams,
And I'm Dr. Desiree Leach.
and this is episode 2 of Unwritten Curriculum. And today we kind of have a cool topic, I think, to kind of kick off
Indeed.
2026. It's going to be, a hot topic. I think
It's
let's just,
personal.
it's
It's
very
cultural.
personal. Let me tell y'all, it was very personal. Okay.
Yes.
I think without further ado, I think we'll jump right into it. So, um, Dr. Leach, tell us about how you feel with different hairstyles. What do you do to kind of get ready? What is your day-to-day routine of head to toe? Let's kind of
Black hair. Whew, I feel like my hair is my crown, right? So before I walk out the house, I have to know my hair is gonna be good, you know?
yes.
It's important for me to make sure the hair is right, then the outfit's right. So if the hair is right from the very beginning, I don't feel good,
Yeah.
right? And so it's different when you put that in a professional setting.
Yeah.
Because that's a requirement.
Yeah.
That is your bread,
Yeah.
your moneymaker. And so you want to feel good and you also want to perform good. And when you feel good, you tend to perform good.
Yes.
And so many times I've had to think ahead, like, okay, do I have an interview this week? Am I customer facing?
Yes.
Before, I get my hair done.
Right.
Does it make sense to wear braids?
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate that we have to have these conversations and we have these thoughts because I'm not sure if our other counterparts do. But these are the thoughts that I have before, I enter the workforce.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
have you had a similar experience?
Girl, have I? You know
I'm
I
sure.
have. Okay, guys. So we're gonna
Tell
take
the
it way
people.
back, way back. All right. So again, Dr. Leach and I met in Chicago. We were both in training. We didn't have no money. Okay. We all know. I don't care if you are black or not. We all know uh the black hair industry is a very expensive industry. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's just kind of put it out there. I
Yep.
don't care if it was 1999 or 2026. It's very expensive.
Mhm.
So when you ain't got no money,
You
all
do it
right,
yourself.
you do it yourself. Okay. So check this out. I'm doing my rounds. I am a intern. Okay. Again, I ain't got no money. I text Des 911. We got a hair
You know what that
emergency.
means.
911. Y'all, I swear my wig was back here. I swear to God. I swear on everything I love. I show up to Dez's house, the front to her front door, ding dong. Wig is off at that point because there was no way. My hair was so thick. It looked, it looked like the toad off of Mario Kart. Like that thing was thick.
Yes,
She
I
was like,
remember.
just slap on a wig cap. The wig cap was not gonna stick on no thick hair. It was
Uh-huh.
not, it was too much.
But not even wig cap, because I know you work in a healthcare environment. How about the scrub hats
But
or
it was not. It was not. It would not suppress that bad boy down.
and when you
Okay.
have a fro, I know,
And
like
and I couldn't. And y'all, I swear, I had my stethoscope around my neck. So every move, I'm like, oh Lord, it's slipping back. It's slipping back. I had no
you
grip.
could feel it. You
I
could
could feel it.
it.
So it was a 911. I left work, went to Dez's house so she could braid down. I don't know why I thought I could just put a wig cap on and just kind of that thing expanded and the wig ran with it.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
So again, yes, I have struggled. I've struggled. I got a sew in now, a little wet and wavy, a little curly.
Listen, we do what we have to
We do what
do.
we gotta do,
Yeah.
and I got a little bit more money I can spend on my hair. Shout out to Zakia. It does my hair. But it is, all jokes aside, it is a struggle to
Mhm.
be a black woman professional and how you carry yourself, how people view you, and should that matter? Should how your appearance, of course, you want to be clean and professional, but what does professional mean,
Exactly.
right?
And that's the I feel like the heart of this, the meat and potatoes. What is professional? The hair that grows from our roots. That's who we are.
Right.
Culturally, that's how we are
Mhm.
built.
Yeah.
So that is professional. I
Yeah.
think it's how you show up. If you're clean, if you're polished,
Right.
that should matter the most. I think when it comes to other counterparts, we don't judge on, oh, you shouldn't wear this or you wear purple today.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
you wear red the next day. Oh my gosh, can I
Yeah.
touch your red?
Yeah.
Like those
Oh
things
yeah. And
don't
touching the hair, don't.
that's another story, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But I feel like it's just so many thoughts, things that we have to think about when we come to the table. So not only is it our work ethic, our ability to communicate things properly, we have to worry about, our presentation. So clothing, we want to make sure that we look good. We want to make sure our hair is good. And many things that has troubled me in the past is when I have customer facing roles, do I wear braids or not?
Mhm.
And I love a good, protective hairstyle. And
Right.
so I've had to struggle with, is this professional? To the point where I even have a headshot where I have braids. And it's a beautiful headshot, shot by a wonderful photographer in Chicagoland area. And it was actually for nature communication. And so, of course, I want to use it,
Yeah.
but I have braids in. And so it's like that understood, you know, those thoughts about braids and the culture. And it's just I don't know how to put it. Like I have like I feel like I'm viewed differently because of it, you know?
Mhm.
I guess tell me your experience with braids.
I mean, I feel the same. I think, us as Black women, unfortunately, have been kind of navigate or geared towards this European style
Mhm.
look. And we're in the bundles, and don't get me wrong, I love a good bundle.
Mhm.
But I love a good braid too. But I do also struggle with, is this professional, or what kind of setting am I going to be in if I'm going to an interview? Um, and well, is this appropriate or not? Is this the right setting for this type of
Right.
hairstyle? And you're putting hours and hours into getting prepped
Yep.
into this and
Sitting down and
spending
getting
thousands
braids.
and thousands of dollars, right?
Mhm.
Um, and usually too, when you get a hairstyle, we ain't swapping out every day
Every
now.
2
I
weeks.
mean, every
I
two,
don't
if you got a wig,
know.
but again, if that bad boy slipping back, all
Mhm.
right, cool. We can
You
we
have to
can
do what
swap
you have
out.
to
We gotta do
do.
what we gotta do. But like braids, is usually a good 4 to 6 weeks, maybe even longer. So again, you over here thinking like, man, I gotta look down the calendar because I
Mhm.
got this and this coming up. And especially, in Chicago when it's really cold, sometimes in the winter months, it may be easier to have braids, or even
Mhm.
of course the summertime. People know good and well when I'm going on vacation because I show up with some braids. They're like, "Oh, you
Right.
must be going
Right.
somewhere."
Exactly.
Well,
We know
why I
the
always gotta be going
the
somewhere just because I
understanding.
got some braids in? No, I'm
Mhm.
actually going somewhere is to work. Okay.
Mhm.
So why does the conversation piece about what Brooke is doing have to be my hair? I may just want to get
Mhm.
my hair done. I may just want to try something new, right? So it is a struggle, like you mentioned, the headshot component, how your professional appearance on social media platforms, whether it be LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, however you name it,
Mhm.
and you want to have this pristine, polished, poised look.
Right.
And why can't that include braids, or someone had dreads? You see now people who have dreads and actually wear wigs on top because they don't want to show their dreads, which is it's crazy. I mean, like you said, this is
Mhm.
the natural state
Of
of
my hair.
someone's like the curls, the
Mhm. The coils
corals of how their hair twists
grows
and
from my
wraps
scalp.
around. Like this is genetic,
Mhm.
So to try to change that up off the opinion of someone else, like who made straight hair, quote unquote professional? Who said that?
Mhm.
Who made up that rule? Right.
Right.
So I think trying to change that about the professional arena, and then also, going back, we spoke about on episode one about imposter syndrome. I think sometimes because we've been brainwashed as to, oh, you got to have this type of appearance, and if you don't, then you're
Mhm.
not going to be, putting your best foot forward, or they're going to
Are not gonna be
thinking,
considered for it
yeah,
because
consider
you
for
look
it
too
because
other.
you have this and that and X, Y, and Z. So kind of rewiring our brains of how we think about ourselves, regardless of how our hair may be that day. It does not matter. Is
Right,
there
and it
who?
shouldn't matter, and I
Yeah,
think you make a valid point of rewiring ourselves and our thoughts, like our preconceived notions about things and how that matters when we show up, and so, to this day, I'm still using the braids headshot
yeah,
because I think it's a beautiful headshot, and I think it takes, us having that understanding of what we think is appropriate and professional, and braids are professional.
Yes.
You are,
Yes.
it's not only, your hair culture, your hairstyle,
Yes.
it's who you are,
Yes.
holistically,
Yes.
how you present yourself.
Part of the
And
Black
so,
culture, you
right.
know?
So I think it requires us changing our mindset, and being more comfortable with, who we are,
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely. Comfortable and confident, right?
Confident.
So
Yep.
I tell, some of my mentees or just even colleagues when they ask, oh, should I? Absolutely. Get your
Mm-hmm.
hair how you want it.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to be professional. You're going to show up being a professional, right? You
Exactly,
always
which
carry
matters the
yourself in
most.
a professional state. So why should your hair dictate how someone views you? Are you qualified enough just based off of how I may have my hair that day?
Right. I remember out of undergrad, I received my first real career job,
Yeah.
and it was very exciting. But of course, like, you're not making that much money. This
Yeah.
is entry level. And so I remember also deciding to go natural. This was a big wave back in, I'm not going to say when, but it was a big wave. And I was excited, like I'm seeing my curls. I've been a perm girly for, about 10 years,
Mhm.
from elementary school to high school. And
Yeah.
so now I'm rocking my own curls. I'm seeing how beautiful my hair is. And I'm trying to navigate like what products to use and stuff. And
Mm.
so not only do I have a new job, I'm trying to figure out what to do with my hair.
Ooh.
And then maintaining relationships, who you were before and who you are
Yes,
now,
yes.
that's a transition for not only myself, but,
Yeah,
my partner as
yeah.
well. And so it took time to get there. It took time to figure out what products to use for those curls to pop. It took time just to figure out, how to do a twist out and then going to bed with a twist out and
And
making
waking
sure
up
that hair dry the
and
next
looking
day.
like a chia pet.
Yes, exactly. And
Chia.
so I've had these uncomfortable, moments, just like wondering if I'm my presentation is good enough,
Yeah.
and then I've also had uncomfortable moments like, oh my gosh, can I touch your hair? Oh my gosh, like, how did you do that to your
Yeah,
hair?
how did you
Can you tell me? And it's just so uncomfortable to have these conversations. And it's like, I don't know why it even matters. I'm
Yeah.
not asking you how did you get your hair to grow from
Yeah.
its roots like that?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's an understood question.
Yeah, it's like you're an
Um,
exhibit, like you're, an
exactly.
animal in a cage or something.
Exactly. And it's like you want to pet me.
Yeah.
So it's just so uncomfortable, and it's definitely something I've had to navigate with. And I'm not sure at what point the switch, like, turn on or off or just stop caring.
Yeah.
But I've definitely got to a point where it's just like my thoughts have changed. And
Mm.
it's I think we're also in a culture though now where, like, braids are more
Right.
accepted. Your natural hair, like, since we started looking at the girlies on YouTube, and
Yeah.
like that was a big deal going
Yeah.
natural, and we learned how to, work our hair, how
Yeah.
to with products. And so now we're in a space where your natural hair is like okay.
Yeah.
It should always be okay. And I'll even add to the point, like, not only are we exhibiting these styles, but we have products, like stores that cater to ethnic, hair types. So things
Absolutely.
have changed.
You know, talking about that transition of like that time period, in 2019, California was actually the first state to
Mm,
pass the Crown Act. So, you know, I think there's about 28 states now who currently have the Crown Act
mm,
that's passed. Illinois, of course, being one of those, and
mhm,
hopefully North Carolina will soon catch up to that. We do tend to teeter between being red or blue, but
mm.
regardless, we need to definitely put some initiative into making that in a law amongst all 50 states globally. Listen, this how someone wears their hair should not dictate how they're looked upon or how they're viewed in their professional setting,
Mhm.
right?
Yep, it shouldn't. I think again, just to summarize this, it takes changing our mindsets.
Mm.
It also takes like having supportive group of friends and people around. I think that it also takes, to your point, the Crown Act,
Yeah.
being mindful of who we put in office,
Yeah.
that make these rules,
Yes.
that allow
The
these things to happen.
representation, right?
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So, just more food for thought,
Yeah.
to think about. It's okay to wear the braids. It's okay to wear the locks.
Yeah.
It's okay to wear the twists. It's okay to do whatever you want to with your hair
It's
as long
okay
as
if
you
the
come
edges
forward,
ain't
polished and
always slick down
professional.
like Slick Rick. It
And
it
then,
may not be like that.
eh,
And that's fine.
yeah, and I think it also it's about, your environment, like your work culture. I think
Mhm.
you also have to take that in consideration. And I think that plays a factor. Like, I think, women and men that are in very entrepreneurial roles,
Mhm.
maybe the standard, it doesn't have to be so polished,
Mhm.
and so that's okay. But for those that are in a professional setting, we may have to put a little bit more effort into our appearance, and that's okay. But it shouldn't matter about what we do with our hair as long as it meets the standard of what we do.
Yeah,
You work in a hospital setting, I'm sure your hair has to be pulled back in some capacity for whatever you're doing,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Me working in a lab setting, regardless if it's braids, a bust down,
Yes.
as long as it's pulled back and not in the way of my aseptic techniques that I'm
Yeah.
doing. So I think it's consideration also of what you do, but also again reinforcing certain things and standards within our own community. We have to be very aware about what we do and say,
Yes,
how we
absolutely.
encourage each other.
And breaking down those stigmas. So,
Mhm.
I mean, so well, how are you? You gonna get your hair done for next month? How you gonna have your hair? Because I
You
know it's
never
still
know.
gonna be cold.
It's still gonna be cold in the Windy City in Chicago, but I might put some braids in.
Okay.
I definitely am trying to do better with how often I wear a hairstyle, how long I wear a hairstyle. I'm
Yeah.
usually like a good 2 weeks, good 3 weeks, which is
Yes.
terrible because
Yes.
you spend money frivolously that way. But braids might be, what I'm wearing. So you may see another headshot with some braids.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll probably, I'll definitely get my sewing redone, but
Uh-huh.
I think I'm enjoying the curly look. So I'll
That
probably
looks
keep
great
this.
on you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Keep this for a while. I like the color, right into my face. So
Mhm.
my mother says, but yeah. Yeah, guys. So drop us a DM. Let us know what kind of hairstyles you
Mhm.
guys are going to be rocking this coming up month,
Mhm.
season, week, day.
Right, and then tell us, some of your experiences in the work culture and environment, what you've had to deal with. I want to hear your stories, or we want to hear your stories as well,
Yeah.
and how you've navigated through those uncomfortable conversations as well.
Yes, yes, those knock, send those text 911, how your girlfriend bailed you out because your wig was sliding
Too
back,
many times.
looking like Mario. I swear I look like the Mario Toad little mushroom
We've all
haircut.
had our times. I There's this meme out with oh my gosh, what is his name? He's in a wheelchair and he's Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh boy, I know exactly.
Exactly. I think everyone
Yes.
knows. In the wheelchair, he's outside and he's looking up and he has his fro. That has been me many a time. So
Yes. You feel
listen,
broke down. Listen, because like you said, if your hair ain't right, listen,
nothing's
and nothing
right.
else is right. I don't care what. I got a new outfit and it don't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
It don't even matter. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the people have to say.
Yep,
And
indeed.
yeah. So thank you again for sticking with us on episode 2 of Unwritten Curriculum. Hope you join us for more.
Bye
Bye.
bye.